Okay, in this video, we're actually going to be classifying quadrilaterals. So you can use the graphic that's on page 294, which was on the previous video, if you need that visual, or you can just use the descriptions that are at the top of the page. So here we're going to actually identify our types of quadrilaterals. So here we have a quadrilateral that has all sides that are equal in length or congruent. So all sides are congruent. But they do not have right angles. So I have parallelograms, which have opposite sides that are parallel and congruent. No parallel sides here, so it can't be that. I have quadrilaterals with exactly one pair of parallel sides. It's out. A kite has two pairs of congruent adjacent sides and opposite sides that are congruent. No, because I have that are not congruent. These are all congruent to each other. No right angles, no right angles. So it has to be a rhombus, parallel with four congruent sides. So this one would be a rhombus. Okay, all right. So once again, the more comfortable you get with these, you won't have to go through every description and eliminate like I just did, but that was kind of what I was doing to help you understand a process that might help you. Oops. Okay, so here we have two sets of sides that are, so this is congruent to that and they're adjacent. And this side is congruent to that and they're adjacent. So adjacent sides that are congruent. Quadrilaterals with two pairs of congruent adjacent sides. So that's a kite. Kind of looks like a kite too when you look at it. So kites have adjacent sides that are congruent or equal to each other. Okay, so here we have right angles. And all sides are equal. So we only have two up here that talk about right angles. That would be a rectangle, parallelogram with four right angles. Does it have that? Yes. And a square is a parallelogram with four congruent sides and four right angles. These sides are all congruent, so this is more specifically a square. Yes, a square is a rectangle, but when you name them, you give its most specific name. So we would say it's a square versus a rectangle. Okay, I want you guys to try these. So go ahead, pause your video. If you need to use the graphic on page 294, you may, but you're going to identify the names of these two quadrilaterals. Okay, so the first one was a trapezoid. It has exactly one pair of parallel sides. The second one could either be a parallelogram or a rectangle, but it is more specifically a rectangle because it has four right angles.